Opening hook, they smiled, waved, and blended into their communities. They went to work, paid their bills, and chatted with neighbors. But behind their front doors, they were hiding some of the darkest secrets imaginable. Tonight, we reveal 10 serial killers who lived double lives, pretending to be normal while committing horrifying crimes. Killer, Dennis Rader. The BTK Killer. For decades, Dennis Rader terrorized Wichita, Kansas, by binding, torturing, and killing his victims. But in his day-to-day life, he was a church president, a Boy Scout leader, and a compliance officer. He was so ordinary that even his neighbors invited him to barbecues, never suspecting the monster among them. Killer, John Wayne Gacy, known as the Killer Clown. Gacy murdered at least 33 young men. Yet, to his community, he was a contractor, a Democratic Party volunteer, and even performed at children's parties dressed as Pogo the Clown. His smiling face hid the horrors buried beneath his home. Killer, Jeffrey Dahmer. We've already covered Dahmer's disturbing crimes. But what made him even more chilling was how he fooled those around him. Neighbors thought he was quiet and shy. Some even accepted his bad meat in the fridge excuse for the strange smells from his apartment, never realizing what was truly happening behind his locked door. Killer, Ted Bundy. Bundy was charismatic, handsome, and even studied law. Friends described him as polite and charming. He volunteered at a suicide hotline and had a reputation as a gentleman. But beneath the surface, Bundy was one of America's most prolific killers, claiming the lives of dozens of women. Killer, Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman. To his New Jersey neighbors, Kuklinski was a loving husband and father who enjoyed family barbecues. In reality, he was a contract killer who murdered over 100 people. He hid his crimes so well that his family had no idea what he really did for a living. Killer, Ed Gein. In a small Wisconsin town, Ed Gein lived quietly, doing odd jobs for neighbors. But when police searched his farmhouse in 1957, they found human remains fashioned into furniture and clothing. His story inspired films like Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Killer, Harold Shipman. A respected doctor in England, Harold Shipman was trusted by his elderly patients. But he used that trust to murder over 200 of them with lethal injections. To his community, he was a kind physician. In truth, he was one of the most prolific serial killers in history. Killer, Robert Yates. Yates was a decorated military helicopter pilot, a father, and a husband. But secretly, he was killing women in Washington state throughout the 1990s. He hid his double life so well that even those closest to him never suspected. Killer, Albert Fish. Albert Fish was a quiet, elderly man, someone who looked harmless. Yet he was one of the most disturbing killers in American history, preying on children in the early 1900s. His crimes were so grotesque that even hardened detectives struggled to describe them. Killer, Russell Williams. A Canadian military colonel, Russell Williams had a distinguished career and commanded respect. But beneath his uniform, he was living a twisted double life, breaking into homes, committing assaults, and eventually murdering 2 women. His arrest shocked an entire nation. The haunting truth: these killers remind us of a terrifying reality. Evil doesn't always look like evil. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, wearing the face of a neighbor, a coworker, or even a doctor. Their stories prove how ordinary masks can conceal extraordinary darkness. Closing call to action: which of these cases shocked you the most? Was it the trusted doctor who killed his patients, or the clown who entertained children by day and murdered by night? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Silent Shrouds for more chilling stories of ordinary faces hiding extraordinary evil.